Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we return to talking about one of our least favorite politicians, especially for the liberals. I'm of course talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's a very famous up-and-coming liberal politician, a very socialist one at that, who basically wants to make our country the next Venezuela, but that's besides the point for today. Today we're talking about a funny little story that has a certain company in America who has named AOC their Employee of the Month. This is a very funny story. It's not exactly what you might think, but to give you a little backstory before we get into it, essentially earlier this year there was a little controversy with the company called Goya. Goya makes food products, mainly authentic Mexican Hispanic style food products, and Goya had a relationship with Donald Trump that many did not appreciate. Essentially, they were one of the few companies that publicly supported the president, kind of like the My Pillow company and a few other ones that came out, supported Trump. Some of their leaders met with the president, had a little rally with him. Things like that happened earlier this year. My Pillow was another one. Goya was one. And with Goya, it kind of upset people in a different way because, as I mentioned, Goya makes this Hispanic food. It's actually a pretty big staple for many people in America and across the globe too. But here in America, liberals decided to start a boycott of Goya because they associated with Trump. One in particular was AOC, as we mentioned. She was one of the ones saying she wouldn't shop for Goya products anymore. And that actually led to a backfire. That actually led to a reversal. So when these liberals all boycotted the company, they actually ended up getting more people buying from them. So as they boycotted, Trump supporters and other people decided to buy more Goya. I know I was buying Goya at the time. I still buy Goya now. I see it at the store and I'm like, hey, I might as well get these beans instead of these other beans. I might as well try this juice. They have lots of different products that are good. And yeah, so that's why Goya named AOC Employee of the Month, because her little dramatic boycott caused them to make more money. So we'll get to the details, talk more about it soon, get you all the flavor and the interesting facts. But first, let's take a quick moment to check out our sponsor. As you can see by these pictures, these are celebrities using this teeth whitening product, and it really works great for these people. And these are people that are on camera all the time. So if you're interested in increasing the whiteness of your smile, the Snow product is definitely a great choice for you. And as you can see by the top of this page, if you use their code LETITSNOW at checkout, you can save 25% right now, and you can probably get this in time for Christmas. And even better, if you order today, you'll get free shipping and you could get this 25% off with the Let It Snow code at checkout. So thanks for your time. Hope you guys will enjoy this product as much as I have, and until next time, let's get back to the show. Great, now that that's out of the way, let's return to the Goya story. As you can see by this article, it says Goya CEO says AOC was named Employee of the Month after her boycott call led to sales spike. Bob, when she boycotted us, our sales actually increased 1,000%. So this is what we're talking about. This is a big number right there, by the way. That's a lot of extra money for the company, and they deserve it. They're a good company. They make great products, regardless of politics and who the supporters and the leaders of their company support. That really isn't the biggest deal, especially for a lot of people. Not everyone is hyper political like AOC, like a lot of us on this channel. We're pretty political. I'm seemingly very political because of shows like this, but in actuality, I just like to talk about this stuff as a job for fun, and I find it interesting. But day to day, I'm not super into like politics. It's not like running my life or ruining my days. But the point is, this Goya stuff, it backfired. AOC has egg on her face, or maybe we should say she has rice on her face or beans, whatever kind of Goya product you choose. And it's just very funny because everything she does, she fails at. She's one of the worst politicians ever, one of the most biased people ever, just a total airhead and a total joke. So it's fun to talk about it again. And let's read into the article and see what else happens. Goya CEO Robert told radio's Michael Berry show on Monday that New York Rep AOC was named Employee of the Month after the company's sales spiked in response to the progressive Congresswoman's call for a boycott of its products earlier this year. When she boycotted us, our sales actually increased 1,000%. Unanu, I can't say that name, Unanu, I think, said on the show, which is syndicated on some 20 stations across the country. So we gave her an honorary. We never were able to hand it to her, but she got Employee of the Month for bringing attention to Goya and our adobo. that was the product that she said she wasn't going to get at Goya anymore. He noted that the boycott allowed Goya to reach so many new people while maintaining its base. Ocasio-Cortez's call came after UNANU declared at a White House event that the United States was blessed to have a leader like President Trump, who is a builder. Oh, look, it's the sound of me Googling how to make your own adobo, Ocasio-Cortez wrote to her 10 million followers on Twitter after social media backlash prompted boycott Goya. So there's the original tweet. This is the adobo thing she mentioned. We actually covered this back when it happened. This happened in July, and now it's coming back up again, kind of after the fact, after all this dust is settled. Goya's showing that they made more money, and the boycott clearly didn't work. It had the opposite effect, and that really makes sense. I mean, you think about who we're dealing with and what's going on here. It actually makes a lot of sense, because it's kind of like why they say get woke and you go broke. It's like the leftists are just toxic. They don't have this kind of driving force behind them. They think they can sway buyers and clients and customers when they really can't. They really don't have that kind of authority or anything like that. The people that follow them are not big spenders. Liberals and SJWs don't actually support products financially. That's the whole issue. That's the problem, is they think they're speaking to a lot of people, and sometimes they are. I mean, AOC does have 10 million followers, as they mentioned here, but the problem is there's billions of people on this planet. 330 million of them are in America. Most of them don't give a hoot about AOC. They don't even know who she is. And if she tells them to stop buying Goya because of some silly meeting the Goya leader had with Trump, I mean, no one's going to go for that. Even if it wasn't dramatic. I mean, all the guy said was he was blessed to have a leader like Trump who's a builder. I mean, he can like Trump. Trump is a builder. He has started a lot of companies. He has done the whole starting companies, building them from the ground up, starting buildings, building them. So when the Goya leader says he's a builder and he's blessed, that's his own right. I mean, that's not anything offensive. This is a non-problem. Basically, he's just being attacked because AOC doesn't like Trump. She's got a little kind of chip on her shoulder about Republicans, so she goes after anyone who supports them. It shows the toxicity of politics now. It shows how if you don't agree with a liberal on every single little thing, they're going to come after you. They're going to come after your livelihood. They're going to try to protest your company, get you guys fired, get your company shut down. I mean, it is a brutal effort, and it is coming from some of the worst kinds of people, including AOC. UNANU told Barry that it was interesting to see AOC as one of the first people to boycott Goya and go against her own people, adding that she is naive when it comes to her support of policies like the Green New Deal. His latest comments come as Goya has doubled its production with an $80 million facility in Texas to meet increasing demand. Despite the success, UNANU told Fox Business's Maria in an interview last week that he is concerned for the nation. We're controlled by social media. Anything that doesn't go along with their agenda and narrative is not permissible, he said on Mornings with Maria. We've lost our coverage. We are the greatest country on earth, but we've lost the freedom and we have to get back to work. Other thing worth noting here is, right, this guy is totally right. He seems like a strong, smart, active businessman who cares about the country and his communities. He's a Hispanic man. This company is Hispanic owned and run. This is something the left should support, but the thing is, they're not really as much about minorities and helping the little guys, how they would call them, because if you don't agree with them, they don't care about you. They don't care about black conservatives, Hispanic conservatives. Anybody that likes Trump is thrown out and you don't get help. But the problem is, it's like if you say all these black, brown, different minorities are all treated terrible and they have a horrible life, then that applies to the other ones you don't agree with too. Just because you can't just pick out the ones who agree with you. It doesn't make sense. It makes you look like you're making stuff up. You're lying. You're a hypocrite. You're full of crap. He lamented that politicians have blamed the coronavirus on Trump and weaponized it against the American worker. He also argued that politicians should be fired instead of millions of the restaurant industry who are unemployed due to COVID restriction. They turn their weapons in a political year on the masses, he said. This is discrimination against the working class. We're not teaching our children. We're not working. This is a great point. This guy seems to be dialed in and knows what's going on. I would listen to him much more than I listen to AOC. This guy leads a billion-dollar company. He's been very successful at getting the company to lots of people, getting their products out there. He does lots of great work. He's active, and in his communities, he's working with the president. What has AOC done? AOC is a puppet for the Democrats. She knows nothing. She won this small election in New York City by a landslide just because she's a Democrat who's a minority and female. I mean, she doesn't have anything going for her. She never did anything with her life. She hasn't accomplished anything in Congress. She promoted this silly Green New Deal that is just a total pipe dream and super failed, super cringe. And she just continues to embarrass herself. And I think this is a good kind of follow-up story to get out there to let people know that she doesn't have the power she thinks. She's not as strong or as smart smart or as popular or cool or effective as she claims. She's not getting things done. Her protests don't work. Her activism is fake. She's just trying to turn us into a socialist, communist country. She supports that stuff, and it's just bad and cringe. And the fact that she wanted to boycott Goya over something like this is super messed up. So I'm glad it turned out better for the company. That about wraps things up. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Subscribe if you're new, hit the bell for notifications, and if you can, help support this channel and keep us afloat by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/nobullshit. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.